Well, it is Thursday. We have all made it. High five. I have you guys in the car again. I am on my way to adventure. And by adventure, what I mean is I'm going to go find some really cool staircases. That's my goal. And then I need to go find just a cool spot in the desert so that I can get some photos done for an important project that I'm working on. And anyways, decided to hop on real quick, answer my own question that I asked, right? So I had asked, if you weren't afraid of being judged, what would you do differently? And my content, as far as the quotes and stuff, those are done in advance. I've created that content in advance, right? And so it wasn't something that was premeditated or, okay, I've got this person or this situation or this thing in mind. It was more neutral, coming up with content, knowing that A, I was going to put it on my LinkedIn, B, that I was going to start sharing more of the strategic consulting side on the Samantha Gibson Instagram account. And so, but so much of what I have taught and what I have learned, just quite honestly, throughout my life, I blame it on, I've had kids. I got knocked up at 16, had Tay at 17, right? But what I recognize without doubt is where I come from, the place where I come from when it comes to mentoring others, doing leadership training, inspiring others, all of those things, right? Come from a place where we can use it personally and professionally. And so much of that, the reason is because I've been a mom so young in my careers that I've had. I don't want to say that I haven't been able to create separation from them. I just take business personal. One of the ways in which I define my success and myself and these things is my work, the work that I do, how I help others, how I serve others, and so on. And so those today, so I read that quote for myself, right? I had typed it out, I had thought about it and just said, what would I do? And it's interesting because lately I'm in this season and I'm sure you guys are seeing a shift, right? What I'm sharing, how I'm sharing, the photos, just all of the things. There's a shift, right? And there's a season. And so when you start evolving, you start understanding yourself differently. And what came to mind when I read it for myself today was something that's actually been going on in my life. I am starting to really understand myself, and I'm understanding my intelligence, understanding my desire to advocate, and that I'm actually really good at it. I kind of surprised myself. Kind of did, kind of didn't, but I really did. Does that make sense? How I'm learning about the parts of my body that I like, because for so long I've had just body dysmorphia, and I'm starting to see what other people are seeing about me for my personality, who I am. And it's strange because it's wait, I've been living in this body my whole life, and yet I didn't understand myself that way. And I'm 43, I'll be 44 in November 30th. And so A, I'm Sagittarius to begin with, and I do match that personality, but B, I'm just really evolving. And so the question itself, so I read it and I didn't, again, business and personal, right? Because my immediate thought was first I went personal and then I went professional. So first personal, if I wasn't going to get judged, I'm learning how to allow a man, right? Another person to love me. They want to get to know me. They want to accept me. They want to be a part of my life, right? That is so hard for me because of where I've been, where my past has taken me, right? And I've worked really hard, my ass off, quite honestly, to not carry the past into anything that I'm going to be bringing into the future. But I also have really, really committed to myself that I was going to be patient and focus on something healthy. And through that journey, what I have learned is the beauty in that, right? Because it's like you create your non-negotiable list and the right person will not flinch. You don't have to be up each other's butt 24/7. You won't, you don't need it because you have nothing to prove that way. And it can be healthy in different ways. You learn what you need and what you don't need to a completely different capacity than what you've been used to up to this point. And that I find interesting. And fascinating and great and all of these different things. But some days it feels like you're drinking water out of a fire hose. I won't lie. Sometimes it gets a little overwhelming where you're like, holy crap, I'm really letting somebody in or people in. And dating is not for the faint of heart. I will tell you, there's that little thing. It's not for the faint of heart, right? What it is it can give you an opportunity to find out what scares you, what overwhelms you, some blind spots maybe, or where you're really good and where you excel and where you like, hey, I really make a good partner because of this, whatever. So if I wasn't worried about failure, like failing at something to be judged, right? Because ultimately being judged is because you perceive that you failed at something. I would have done that a lot sooner. I wouldn't have waited all the years that I waited to really let somebody back in. The timing, everything, you have to grow, all these things I understand. But just a question, right? No right or wrong. And that was a thought that came to mind. I would have allowed somebody in a lot sooner. Yes, can they break your heart? Sure. But can they also be like the absolute best thing that ever happened in your life? Yeah. And I'm willing to take that risk. Now, professionally speaking, this one is a rough one for me. Not rough, raw. I'll say raw. And it's raw because it's hard for me to admit this. Most people, if not all people, assume that I am very extroverted, that I am very much a people person, that I am out there all the time. And a fun fact about me, since I've been very young, is I actually have massive social anxiety. But yet I have always understood that I am in roles and have responsibilities that I don't really have permission to be that way. I need to go do what I've got to do to work and to provide for my children and myself and so on, and to make a difference in the world and all of these different things. And so learning if I wasn't going to be judged, right? Because one of the fears that I see myself in this season is I hold myself back. I know the great things I can do. I can really go actually get the success that I've felt I wanted since I was 5 years old. And I have, for some reason, stayed in this little bubble almost of telling myself that you're going to get so rejected and people are going to laugh in your face, or they're going to get a message from you and they're going to think, what a loser, or God, well, what is she doing? Like, no thanks, and then unfriend me or not talk to me anymore, or whatever, this extremity, right? And it's distorted thinking, I understand, but it's a fear. It's a real thing. And I'm really working hard at, I'm going to start putting things out there. And the people that want to be there will, and the people that don't. And I'm going to be okay. I'm going to live. I'm not going to die. I keep reminding myself, Samantha, you're not going to die. Samantha, you're not going to die. That is the season I am in. Okay, well, you're not going to die. Or, did you die? No, you didn't die. So here we go. We're going to keep going on this train of live your best life, have the relationships that you want to have, build what you want to build, do what you want to do, and grow into who you're supposed to be, who you are. Like, you are your person, but you have never grown into it at full capacity. And it's your time. It's your time. It's your season to do that. So anyways, that's my answer. It's a long ass answer, but I see you. I love you. You matter to me. If you want to message me and share what yours is, I would love that. If you want to comment on social media, I would love that. If you want to repost, that is huge, because that's how other people can find these messages of positivity and growth. But yeah, I'll talk to you later. Bye.